So today on Breakfast, Lunch, and Dinner Cooking, we are going to be making an old-fashioned molasses cookie. So here we go. Okay, what we're gonna do is we are gonna start out with our sugars. And I am going to put, I don't know if you've ever had molasses cookies, but they are so yummy. So I'm going to put a half of a cup of brown sugar, pack it in, and I'm going to put a half of a cup of granulated sugar. And then I am going to put in a half a cup of molasses. I better do it over the bowl. These are the dark. I don't know if there's, I think there is dark and light molasses. I don't know. Anyway, this is dark molasses. Put a half a cup of that in. That should be good. And then get that out. Move this bowl over so you can see what I'm doing. This is a cookie that was very popular when I was a kid. And I don't think it is very popular anymore, but I'm taking these to our Memorial Day party tomorrow. And all of us oldsters know what we got. I've got 3/4 cup of butter here, softened, room temperature butter. And got 1 egg. So I'm putting in all the kind of the wet ingredients. And I am going to cream that together real quick. This is an antique mixer like I am. I've used this mixer my whole life. I might have got it as a wedding gift in 1975 from my mother. Get it good and creamed in there. Okay. And now I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of baking soda. That's about 2 teaspoons. And then a half of a teaspoon of salt. And a teaspoon of cinnamon. And then half a teaspoon of ground cloves. These are a little spicy. They're wonderful. There's something different, you know? So half a teaspoon of ground cloves. And then, believe it or not, a whole tablespoon of ginger. So that's about right. Okay. And I'm going to mix that in. My oven's preheated to 350. Okay, I'm gonna get these out of here. Okay, and then you add 2 1/4 cup of flour. And I buy this organic flour from Walmart. I really like it. It's an all-purpose flour, but it's organic. I don't have to worry about being Roundup ready. So 2 1/4 cups of flour. Okay. Now we're gonna mix that in by hand without the mixer because I don't want it to all stick on the blades there. Smash it in there. It's coming. Oh, they smell so good. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to roll these in balls and then roll them in sugar. There we go, we got that to come together. Okay. Now, what I'm gonna do is actually, you know what? I'm gonna refrigerate this for a few minutes. It's a little bit soft. Okay, I've chilled my dough for probably 10 minutes. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my dough, I'm gonna roll it and put it in sugar. And set those on there and see how many we get. I am gonna separate these a little bit more than usual because I think these spread because of all the butter. I'm just gonna roll those up. And I think these take right around 10 to 15 minutes. Of course, it's depending on your the size of your cookies. But I'm gonna make these kind of big today. I made those coconut cookies a couple episodes ago and I froze them for our Memorial Day party. And so we're gonna have the coconut cookies and the molasses cookies. Old-fashioned cookies. Yeah, you really wanna chill this for at least 10 minutes because it was just too soft. Oh, that one might be a little too big. And I'll get these in the oven and I'll show you how I am going to put these so that they look appetizing. All right, 3 more. I like to show you how I do it because there's a lot of people that are new cooks and I'm so thrilled. You have no idea how thrilled I am that I can teach some of these young people how to do things. These old-fashioned recipes. Okay. So I've got these and I'm gonna put them in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes and I'll show you what we got. Okay, they're coming out of the oven And they look beautiful. Oh my gosh. And see, I did the perfect amount apart because you don't really want them touching. You want them to be perfectly round. Look at how pretty those are. There was my timer. These took 12 minutes. And look at how pretty they are. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set these. This is the beauty of using parchment paper. I'm going to let those cool, and then I'm going to show you a really nice way to present anything that you take to somebody else's house. And I'm going to finish up these cookies. I'm going to let these cool, and I will show you what we got. Okay, these have been cooling for probably about 20 minutes now. And I wanted to show you, this is what I do. I probably got 3 paper plates here, so it's a little firmer. And then you take just a piece of wax paper, and then, as always, put your prettiest cookies whenever you're taking them somewhere, and you eat the ugly ones. So look at those. That should be good. Maybe one for the top. So I've got those stacked up, and then what you want to do is take a freezer bag and just slide it in there like so, and zip it up. And what a pretty presentation to bring to somebody. Isn't that a great idea? Because you don't want to put it on the paper plate because then it might look greasy and unappetizing. So I always put it on some wax paper, which is an old-fashioned thing to buy, but they still sell it. Anyway, these, I got about 28 cookies out of this recipe. And if you could smell my kitchen, honestly, molasses is actually healthy. I believe it's high in iron. And anything dark in color, fruits, vegetables, or anything are so good for you. But anyway, hope you enjoyed my little video, and try some molasses cookies. And remember, there's nothing you can't do if you put your mind to it. And love the Lord with all your heart. Thanks for watching. And the recipe will be in the description.